My name is Dr. Tori Wieston-Cerdan. I am co-founder and CEO of the Youth Mentoring Action Network in Southern California. I'm super excited to be talking to you all today. Excited about the opportunity to have so many people dedicated to mentoring and youth work in the space at one time, trying to figure out how we can be better for young people. A lot of my work centers around critical mentoring, a concept that really has sort of impacted the field in a way that I'm very happy about. The whole point of it is to really think critically about how we approach our youth work, to think and to be intentional even about how we're working with young folks from marginalized identities. Thinking about the concept of intersectionality, thinking about what it means to be a mentor to a Black kid, right? What it means to be a mentor to a queer youth, what it means to be a mentor to someone who's Latinx, right? We cannot ever assume that mentoring looks the same for all of these young people. When I first started a mentoring program and started thinking about what mentoring would look like for me, I went to the research and I started thinking about stats. I started thinking about impact and evaluation, the idea of what it looks like to be a mentor for a young person from a marginalized background. So I didn't know, there wasn't language in the research to talk about what it meant to mentor a Black youth specifically, or what it meant to mentor a Latinx youth specifically, or a queer youth specifically, or a young person with a disability specifically, to think critically about these things and to figure out how our mentoring can align with what young people need in the context that they need it. There's a lot going on in terms of what America, what our world really looks like. Young people are looking at that. Young people are impacted by that. And young people are looking for us as adults to guide them and resource them in ways that they have never needed us in the past. So a lot of our work today, a lot of the work that you guys are doing at this conference right now is about digging deep inside of yourself, understanding what is required of us so that we can be better for young people, so that we can show up for young people in the ways that they need us, right? One of the things that I say to audiences all the time is that if we don't do the work of figuring out how to show up for young people in the right ways, young people won't need us. And for me, as a person who cares very much about teaching young people, mentoring young people, supporting young people, that thought is devastating. That we'll have a world where young people will say, I don't need my elders for anything. We're gonna show up and figure out how to do this on our own. I grew up in a space where elders were there the entire time to talk to me, to guide me, to show me how to do things, to help me question, right? To help me challenge. I'm thankful for everything that those elders provided me. I'm thankful that those elders were in my community. Now I'm an elder, and I know we don't like that term, but now I'm an elder, and I want to show up in ways that make sense for the young people that I'm serving today. Please take a look and really consider the concept of critical mentoring, because critical mentoring helps us to dial in on what young people need in terms of their individualized identities, and also helps us and forces us, I should say, to really consider context. We exist in a context today that is toxic. It's in the air we breathe, it's in the water we drink. And I'm not just talking about environmental in terms of literal water or literal air, although that is something that young people are being impacted by. But I'm talking about the toxicity of racism. I'm talking about the toxicity of patriarchy. I'm talking about the toxicity of rape culture. All of these issues that are uncomfortable for us as adults to deal with, that young people, 12, 13, 14, 15, etc., are having to figure out how to navigate, are having to figure out how to understand, are having to figure out how to survive in some cases. If we don't show up for young people, if we don't do the work in ourselves to recognize what these issues are, to think about them deeply, and to create structures and programs and platforms and policies that enable our young people to be better, then we failed as elders in our community. So I'm excited about the fact that you guys are all gathered here. I'm amped about the idea that you have all these opportunities to develop yourselves. I want to inspire and encourage you that all of us in this work need these opportunities to be better. One of the things I say all the time is that young people deserve the best of us so that they can be better than us. Your job here at this conference today is to be best, right? Is to build your best self, so that young people can be better, so that they can see a better tomorrow, so that they can do better work than we're doing today. After this conference, I want you to go home with that feeling, with that feeling of that you're on a quest, right? I think that so often we do these conferences, we sort of go through the motions, you know, we attend all of the sessions like we're supposed to, we do all of the right things, but then when we go home, there isn't this level of movement. There isn't this feeling in our gut that's inspiring us, that's moving us, that's challenging us. When you leave from this conference, I want you to have that spirit of transformation in you. I want you to have that vision, you know, for your next quest, for your next journey, to engage in our process of development, to engage in a process of growth, so that when we show up in spaces with young people, we can offer them something deeper, we can offer them something more valuable.